It's not terribly surprising. I think we've come to expect this type of action from the administration. It's concerning because the Chinese, as you indicated previously, are not showing any signs of stepping down. At the end of the day, tariffs are a very crude instrument to deal with a very complicated problem. They are basically a regressive tax that hurt consumers and exporters like farmers. So I don't expect the Chinese to back down on this.
Let's talk about another thing that Kayla mentioned, and something that people have been talking about since last week. There does seem to be this move to shore up things with some of our traditional partners, the EU, with Canada, with Mexico, and maybe try and get them on our side before we face a protracted showdown with China. That's something that a lot of trade experts have been saying for months they would like to see happen. So do you agree with that sort of a strategy?
Completely. I've been one of those folks on the outside calling for the administration to get its ducks in a row and to lay the groundwork. Look, China needs to be confronted. Its industrial practices are very problematic. They affect the entire global economy, not just the United States. And we should not go this alone. We ought to be enlisting the aid and assistance of our allies. That said, we've been doing just the opposite until very recently, basically alienating and antagonizing them. Now, the NAFTA discussions, as you mentioned, resumed today, and my understanding from talking to some very well-placed folks in the Mexican government is that there seems to be new flexibility, new signs of some momentum coming out of Washington, out of the administration, and that's certainly positive.
I mean, that's probably newsworthy to hear something like that, that we could be getting a situation where we really do see a deal that comes together rather quickly after all of these months of kind of standstill negotiations.
I mean, I think we have to put it in context, right? So first of all, the Canadians are not at the table, and any notion that this is going to be a bilateral agreement, I think, is just not well-founded. I think the Mexicans have made it very clear they won't accept that. And the Canadians won't as well. Second, all the difficult issues have been put off. They still haven't really gotten to the core of these so-called poison pill provisions that the U.S. business community is up in arms about and that could really still threaten to kill the deal. But the good news is that the administration for the first time seems to be showing some flexibility around some of the Mexican proposals related to rules of origin and other things. So look, I think that the thought is if the U.S. and Mexico can work out the framework, get to closure on some of the outstanding chapters, and really kind of begin to drill down on some of these difficult issues, the Canadians can be brought in, and if the political will can be mustered, they might be able to reach a deal in time for the Peña Nieto administration to sign it before it leaves office on December 1st.